I'm Lizah from Kenya. I'm in public health at the moment, working for international NGO in health financing a couple of years now. I've come from an investment banking background and then recently became a mom, and that's how I met CherishClub. Yeah, so before I started the program, how things were like at home. My baby was turning 4 months. I was just about to return to work. I'm a mid manager level leader in my organization. I lead a team of about 8 people. Several things kind of really made a difference about the program to me. First of all, the very helpful tips on how to deal with things at home. I think I followed the advice road on just how to go about getting a nanny, how to do that, the importance, attaching the importance to that, because if you don't have a good nanny at home, you will not have peace at work. So that was very important to figure out the home situation, making sure the baby is on a good schedule, the baby is feeding well, everyone is clear on when the baby is doing what, and having that actually written down in a tracked format was, I think, another idea. So just helping me, I think, structure things at home. Those tips are very helpful. Tips also at work have been really, really helpful. I think in both instances, at home, at work, really targeted at my needs. So at work, that having that, structuring that conversation, initial conversation with my manager when I was coming back from maternity leave, looking at my goals, reflecting on that. And then I was working on there was a big opportunity that came my way, career related. You gave me really good advice on that application. And then on the 3rd week, I had something like, it was the end of the first month at work, kind of was dealing with a very difficult situation. And so I think the time with the CherishClub was also a really good safe space where I could just be open with the situation I was dealing with at work in a vulnerable way. And I was able to get really good advice on how to deal with the situation. And I'm in the process of resolving that. So yeah, I think for me, that safe space, the helpful tips, and then knowing I have that support in my corner was really, really helpful. And then also for somebody who is in this exact shoes, actually, as close as it can get, because sometimes when somebody is giving you advice that you get out there, then you find out, oh, that person is a full-time mom, then you're like, okay, that can work if you have X amount of time. And then the other time, some of the advice I was receiving was just, really, really expensive as well, like requiring insane amount of money to afford the help you need to be able to focus at work. And so that wouldn't work either. So for me, it was helpful to get just advice at my level with the kind of resources I have and, specifically targeted at my needs. I think for me, I came into the program with a lot of immediate needs. So for me, it was immediate. You remember you gave me assignments. Go look at some expert websites. And even before our next round, I came back with feedback, you sent me resources on how to train nanny. So for me, each week I was achieving actually where my pain points and, resolving the issues that I needed to resolve to be able to, have a structured day for the baby, for me, for the nanny, so that, you have peace of mind. I can focus at work, in a very calm way. So for me, I think the tipping point was from the beginning. Each week has been a tipping point, super monumental. First week was, nanny and baby and structuring that. That's important to sort out to be able to focus at work. So I felt I achieved that. Remember how helpful advice was. Then returning to work, I didn't know how to have that conversation with my manager. So it was helpful. You've had that conversation with your boss before. You had gave me some very helpful tips there. And then around that, with also returning to work, how to just structure my day to be more productive, because now as a mom, those previous habits just weren't going to work. I couldn't, at night I need to rest. I need, you can't have the same old habits. So for, that process of You also gave me really good advice on that. And then last week, which is the 5th week, was with that disaster at work. So, it was a very successful. Each week has been road. Just look at everything. Each week has been success and tipping point. Yeah, so I would definitely recommend this program to women. I would say to be honest, any working woman, I don't think it matters your level. I think if maintaining your career is an objective, even if actually you don't want to, you choose to remain at home, there's still, very helpful information about, because it doesn't mean you don't have personal objectives you want to achieve. I think your personal objectives are still important to structure. So for me, any woman really could benefit from this program. But more so, I think, especially women who are, don't want to put brakes of any kind on their careers and want to figure out a way to just making sure, at home things are working, and at work as well, your career is moving, actually accelerating. And so, this program would be really beneficial to, that kind of woman, especially. But it also requires, I think, them coming in with knowing where they need help. You get the most value out of it when you know exactly, I think, what you want. So this, I think there's a loose structure that CherishClub has, but you then bring where your pain points are, and road is really candid. You can really get to the bottom of the issue. So yeah, it's also about as much as you want out of it, I think.